This is exciting to me. This happened last Thursday, actually. I missed it on Friday. You know that I had been particularly upset that the Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee seem to have been backing off of their calls to subpoena Leonard Leo and Harlan Crow, among others, to investigate the fact that Leonard Leo seems to have been essentially the what do you call those?
Sugar daddy?
Not the sugar daddy. Who is it? The matchmaker. The matchmaker between Clarence Thomas and Harlan Crow. Clarence Thomas's buddy. Now, they weren't friends before he became a Supreme Court justice. And report from ProPublica, we spoke to, was it Kroll? Who was it? Andy Kroll, right. About Leonard Leo, as one of the big fundraisers for the Federalist Society, realized like some of these right-wing judges, they may quit because like, why would you, even though you get all this power, particularly if you're not in, this is prior to being a 6-3 majority. Back when you're on the losing side and you don't think you're going to have any, why wouldn't you quit?
Yeah,
go cash in, make all this money. So Leonard Leo developed a friendship. He had access to and probably helped set up Clarence Thomas's hearings. Even, well, I don't know if he was there when that happened, but certainly did, Kavanaugh's and Gorsuch and whatnot. But became friends with Clarence Thomas and then introduced him to Harlan Crow in a have a billionaire adopt a Supreme Court justice, went on to pay for his mother's house, his new buddy, and to pay for the private school of one of his kids or maybe somebody he was a guardian of.
Yes.
Among taking him on a bevy of these private jet trips to different places around the world. And so the Senate Judiciary Committee Democrats want to subpoena these guys and find out the nature of these relationships. And they looked like they were going to back off after the Supreme Court put out like a ridiculous document ostensibly being their new ethics code, which was just basically made mincemeat of within a day or two by anybody with any paying attention to any of these things. And this is, in the wake of this, apparently, or I should say right before, right? There's this rancor over judicial nominees that were made. And then after that, the GOP walks out because they know these subpoenas are coming, but they need to like ramp up their fake anger. So here it is. This is when there's two judicial nominees that Durbin is pushing through.
Sorry, we already had done that at great length.
Well, I think this deserves some commentary, given the nature of the nominee, and I'd like to ask to speak on the nomination.
Senator, we've debated these two nominees twice.
Mr. Chairman, I would also like to speak on the nomination.
I understand what you'd like to do, but I'm saying that in fairness, we have debated these nominees twice, and I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, you're denying us an opportunity to speak on a nominee.
Man. I mean,
third time. No.
Okay, do this.
So we don't have a right to speak under the rules?
Under the third time, I'd say no.
So you're just going to make it up?
So yeah.
I'd like to
There's going to be a lot of consequences coming here.
Too, Mr.
You're going to have a lot of consequences coming if you go down this road.
You better
I've cautioned a lot of you.
The clerk will call the roll.
Listen to me.
Now pause it for 1 second. I understand what's going on here. They want to extend the debate on these nominees, not because they're concerned about the nominees, because they want to like tee up and push the subpoena roll call. I think that's what's going on here. Because this all happens at the same meeting of the committee.
And a lot of you.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, don't we get the opportunity to speak?
We're in a roll call.
So you're telling us to shut up?
Even though multiple
you
members
want
have
us
asked to
to
speak?
shut up? Is that what you're saying?
A lot of people didn't speak on the two nominees before.
We've done.
Would you raise your hand if you did not speak?
I did not have a chance.
Senator Cornyn didn't have a chance to speak.
Senator Blackburn had a chance to speak.
We've got several folks, Mr. Chairman, who didn't have a chance to speak.
We want to tell you again why these nominees are awful.
Mr. Welch.
Or in Senator Cornyn's case, tell you for the first time. You're just going to sit there and ignore us?
Senator Blackburn, have you spoken on these nominees?
I've not had the
you like
opportunity to
to?
speak. I would like very much to speak on Mr.
Mr. Chairman,
Cassavai.
I urge you to let Senator Blackburn speak.
Mr. Grant.
Senator Cornyn as well. Senator Cornyn hasn't had a chance to speak.
That's correct.
Mr. Grassley.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. You can't limit debate without invoking Rule 4. You haven't done that.
We have debated.
Mr. Grassley.
We've debated on prior occasions when we didn't have a quorum. That vote didn't count.
Speak on the other nominees.
We got people who are here now who weren't here then who'd like to speak.
Can we speak on the other nominees?
Mr. Lee.
Or is your plan just to end all debate today? Is your plan to end all debate? Do you have an answer? You're going to rely on someone whispering in your ear. What's your plan?
No.
No, we're not. Okay, listen, here's the deal. We worked 7 weeks to trying to solution the asylum problems. You boycotted the committee.
Mr. Cruz.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you've left us any alternative but to deny the committee a quorum.
Mr. Cotton.
I think that's something we ought to seriously
I tell
consider.
you what.
Mr. Cotton says the chairman needs to rethink his decision
Yeah,
and let Senator Cornyn and Senator Blackburn speak. That's what Mr. Cotton says. You mark that down as my vote.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah. I think-
Everybody over there who's not willing to look at me or look at Nick Durbin needs to think about it as well.
Kennedy.
I want to speak.
Mr. Tillis.
Mr. Kennedy wants to speak as well. Mark Mr. Cotton now saying Mr. Kennedy needs to speak too.
Mr. Tillis. Mrs. Blackburn.
I'm waiting to be heard on the nominee. I've requested several times to be heard on the nominee.
So no, I guess Senator Durbin's not going to allow women to speak either. I thought that was sacrosanct in your party.
Mr. Durbin.
Imagine being like, it's not in our party. So they get through this. These two nominees are passed through. Remember, we lost a couple of months, I think, because of Senator Feinstein, even though at the time we were told we weren't. So they're trying to rush and catch up to where Trump was at the end of his term in terms of Biden. We're getting close. But then they go and vote for the subpoenas to be issued. And here we had this. They start to leave.
The question now is on the proceeding to vote on the chair's November 2nd, 2023 motion to authorize subpoenas. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, can I raise a point of order, please?
I'm
May I?
sorry, but we have to proceed with this roll call.
Yeah, I can't raise a point of order before we vote.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Go away, go away.
Ms. Klobuchar. Mr. Coons.
Go away.
Does he understand the 2-hour rule?
Committee can't meet anymore.
So you can see all of the Republicans have left except for Graham at this point, right? And is Graham leaving right now? They're attempting to deny the, there goes Graham. He just got a text from somebody saying, "Get up, dude, get out." And what had happened, as far as I can tell, is the the quorum had already been reached. And even though they were absent for the vote at that moment, that once the hearing begins, or I should say the committee meeting begins, with quorum, everything there has been quorumized. And so these subpoenas went through. It's good to see, after, I don't know, 15 years, maybe the Democrats, eventually realizing, why are we playing this game? Mm-hmm. After Patrick Leahy, former Democratic chair of the Judiciary Committee, upheld blue slips after going through an entire term where Democratic use of blue slips. This is a old Senate tradition where the senators have to return a piece of paper saying that they're okay with the judicial nominees of that are for their state, lifetime appointments. And Leahy, after was it 4 years of Trump when Democrats withholding their blue slip was ignored, said, I'm going to be the bigger guy and reinstitute it. I think Durbin still upholds blue slips too, but at the very least, at least they're doing their job and they realize they're getting the right type of pressure, I guess. So that's good.